building as we get set and ready for the AAA basketball championship game here on Rogers Television. Dan McHale alongside the ever popular Roy Wren. And Roy, we can't say enough about the excitement in the building right now.
No doubt. We got a great crowd coming in. The buzz is beginning to build. Can't wait to see the ball get jumped.
And you know that these two teams come in here very much pumped. Martin Grove Bears won their basketball game, a semifinal game at that, in triple overtime, defeating Bob Mado's Emory Eagles. And you got to say a lot about that, because not every day you step into a building and beat Bob Mado.
Certainly a great turning point for that Martin Grove program that's been slowly building over the past few years, and that's a huge win over Emory. And let's see if they can carry that momentum onto an OFSA berth.
And you're also looking at the Central Commerce Riders and Darnell Walters with 26 points, defeating Wilfrid Laurier in their semifinal win to get to the big dance here today.
Yeah, well, Central Commerce has got a great tradition. They've won a few OFSA titles in their time, and they've been here before. Larry Loughlin's a very accomplished coach. They've got a talented lineup. It's going to be a great game.
And talking about those coaches, and you mentioned Larry Loughlin of Central Commerce, he has coached at the All-Star level before. He has coached teams at a very competitive level. Your thoughts on Larry Loughlin?
Well, you know what? They really mix things up on the defensive end. They've got some talented guys that can score. He does a great job. He does a great job with his kids. They're disciplined. I think they come out of a very strong league in the South. The West has been very deep this year, so this one's a real toss-up. I think it's going to be a great game.
And Sean Gray, coming from Martin Grove as a student, here he is now as one of the coaching staff for the Bears. And you can't say enough about Sean Gray, a three-time All-Star here in Toronto.
Great to see athletes coming back and giving back to their communities and to their alma mater there at Martin Grove. So it's a phenomenal story for high school basketball. This is going to be a great game.
You can't say enough, Roy. As we get set and ready for the opening tip-off, you're watching Game Day here on Rogers Television. When we come back, we'll have the opening tip-off.
Thousands of movies the whole family will enjoy this month on demand.
My name is Peyton. I'm your daughter.
You're my agent. I am not qualified for this.
So how's Lila? I'm telling you, the second we got married, it's like a switch flip.
Eddie, think fast! Ah! Lemmy, come on!
My brother calls me Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will.
Now?
Not now. Wait till I get the... Family time is anytime. On demand. On Channel 100.
Hi, my name is Andre Blemin. I'm here at the Black History Month Conference at the North York Central Library. This event is a multicultural event. It's very educational and it's very hands-on.
No one said that their race would be easy, so for over 400 years they continue to run.
We have a lot of guest speakers here today: Stacey McKenzie, Dwayne Morgan, Bevo Brown, aka Subliminal, as well as special guest performances by Public Enemy Dance Troupe. To have the opportunity to meet one-on-one with some of our speakers, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. My name is Andre Blemin, and you're watching Rogers Television.
Visit RogersTelevision.com for previous cruiser events. To get the Rogers Television Community Cruiser at your next event, call 416-649-4334.
Got talent? Then Daytime Toronto wants to hear from you. We're looking for people who want to show their special talent on television. Contact us by phone or email. Tell us what you can do, and maybe we'll see you on Daytime Toronto. Daytime Toronto is looking for your local heroes. People who make a difference in the community by helping others, volunteering their time, or just being a friend. Contact us by phone or email so we can celebrate our city's local heroes.
Welcome back to the University of Toronto and the Benson Building as we get set and ready for the AAA championships here for the City of Toronto. And Roy, you can't say enough about the excitement in the building. The parents are here, the fans are here. the kids were able to get time off of school to come down to cheer on their school.
It's a great time of the year. Yeah, it's exciting to see these kids get an opportunity to play for a city championship. It doesn't happen often for some of these schools, so I think they got to savor it when they get this opportunity. So once again, congratulations to both Central Commerce and Martin Grove for getting here and their coaches. That's a great accomplishment.
Looking at the Martin Grove Bears, that was a triple overtime win over the Emery Eagles, 83-82. Matthew Wright had 32 points for Martin Grove and Jerome Guthrie 32 and a losing cause. And wow, you have to really say an awful lot about kids willing to put it all out on the floor. That's blood, sweat, and tears.
Certainly, overtime games are tough, and both Matthew Wright and Jerome Guthrie are young players who are really making a mark for themselves in the fabric of City of Toronto basketball, so it's great to see.
And looking at Central Commerce, their win over Wilfrid Laurier, 67-42. Darnell Walters, 26 points. Marcel Hyde had 14 for Wilfrid Laurier.
Well, I know Central Commerce started the season with some injuries and some guys who were out, and they seem to be back at full strength now. Darnell Walters back in the lineup, having a huge impact on that team. And they've got championship experience, so they're a pretty dangerous group.
As they're introducing the starting five for both squads, we're looking at the top 10 rankings put out by Rogers Television here, and this includes Pickering at number 1, Eastern Commerce number 2, Henry Carr number 3, Mother Teresa number 4, along with West Hill number 5, Oakwood number 6, Father Gates number 7, and we've got Vaughan 8, Campion 9, and Martin Grove number 10. There's Martin Grove right there at number 10. Pine Ridge right behind them from Pickering at number 11. So that's quite something as we took a look at, there's your wins right there. Martin Grove defeating Pearson Emery, and Central Commerce defeating William Lyons Mackenzie and Laurier. Your thoughts on those wins?
Well, obviously Martin Grove had a tough battle going into triple overtime against Emery, and then Central Commerce playing William Lyons Mackenzie, coached by Colin Charles, former Eastern Commerce alumni, doing a great job there, and then Laurier, who's been traditionally very powerful in Toronto East. So both teams not having an easy route to this city championship game.
Also looking at the starting five, first for Central Commerce Riders, including Gumachu Ibrahim, Patrick Halala, Jamal Paisley, Darnell Walters, and Abdi Mohammed. That will be the starting five for the Central Commerce Riders. And just waiting for the Martin Grove lineup, as we've got Dane Clark that will start along with Colin McLeod. They've also indicated Michael Achempong will start, Stephen Manahalovich, and Matthew Wright. That will be the starting five for the Martin Grove Bears.
Yeah, I think we've got to really watch for Matthew Wright and Darnell Walters. They're the two big guns on both teams, as well as number 33 for Central Commerce, Abdi Malik Mohammed, who's very, very talented and can really do some good things on the court as well.
As we get set and ready for the opening tip-off, and the officials for today's game, Vince Pileggi and Glenn Selkirk. We only go with the best here on Rogers Television, Roy.
We've got a phenomenal officiating crew to do this final, so officiating should certainly not be an issue.
So we get set and ready for the tip, and there it is right there with the Martin Grove Bears taking control. Dane Clark will run the offense. Achempong to Clark, and right off the bat, they put it up off the glass. Martin Grove draws first blood.
Great execution on a backdoor cut for a layup to start the game for Martin Grove. A little bit of pressure.
And the pressure caused a turnover. And it's all of a sudden 4-0 for the Martin Grove Bears. Michael Achempong off the glass. The Riders looking to get set offensively. Outside, that was a three-point attempt, did not drop. Strong rebound, Jamal Paisley. Outside, here's Ibrahim. And that was a three.
Great way to answer the pressure. Penetration pitch by Darnell Walters to Gumachu Ibrahim.
And there'll be a foul against Central Commerce. And that's going to go against Abdi Mohammed. That'll be his first personal foul, or correction, Darnell Walters. That's his first personal foul, the team's first.
Personal foul on Commerce, Darnell Walters.
It's going to be very important to stay out of foul trouble for some of these players on both teams. Could have a huge impact on this game.
For Martin Grove, here's Dane Clark. Kicks it outside. Looking to drive, Matthew Wright. Wright showcasing a bit of a throw here in the game.
A little bit of old school time.
Going retro as we have the Riders driving right down Young Street on the play. That was a nice move by Darnell Walters.
Central Commerce right back at them.
Played a heck of a game against Wilfrid Laurier, and here he is today against the Martin Grove Bears. Martin Grove with the ball. Colin McLeod. Michael Achempong puts the ball up.
Charging foul.
It'll be against Achempong.
Good drive, great defense there. Great help side by Central Commerce.
5-4 in favor of the Riders.
Great energy to start this game. Lots of intensity. Hopefully the teams can get over some of that early nerves. Just settle into a flow.
And that's exactly what it is, Roy, with the early nerves. These kids not always used to playing in front of big crowds.
It's a big game, a lot on the line. Trip to OFSA, automatic bid, city championship. So the stakes are high for these kids today.
And you mentioned OFSA with the trip to Paris, Ontario to play in the AAA championships. And that will begin Monday, March 3rd through Wednesday, March 5th. Dave Thomas, the convener of this event. And it's a big event for Paris, Ontario as well, having all the schools come from all over Ontario. Off the glass. For Martin Grove, that was Dane Clark.
Martin Grove's 1-3-1 half-court trap really giving Central Commerce some trouble early.
And it's not like they haven't seen a 1-3-1 come at them before. I'm sure Larry Laughlin has got to make his team adjust to that.
Larry's a great coach. I'm sure he will. Sometimes it takes, again, the nerves early on. It's difficult for these kids to recognize what's happening.
Clark with the ball. Central Commerce goes into a man defense. Wright with the ball. Puts it up with the left hand. There's the rebound. Colin McLeod.
Martin Grove getting extra possessions on the offensive glass right now, and that's really allowed them to take this three-point lead early.
Darnell Walters.
Wow.
On the tip off the glass.
Athletic play, Darnell Walters, showing you why he's one of the stars at Central Commerce.
Now, Roy, you've got to say to yourself, where was the defensive help on the glass?
Yeah, I think, you know what, they were a little bit mesmerized by that drive. Everybody forgot about him on the offensive glass.
Clark puts it up, but traveling violation is called, and Central Commerce will take control of the ball. Here's the replay.
There you go. Wow, it looked like it didn't even touch the glass. Kind of almost like he passed it to himself.
Closest player defensively on the boards was Colin McLeod, but he was also guarding his own player.
The trap leads to an easy bucket.
Matthew Wright, grade 11 student, playing a guard position. Walters put up the ball.
Second shot opportunity, Central Commerce.
Shima Arnaud, the 6'5 forward, puts it up.
There's a big body out there for Central Commerce.
I don't think he misses many meals, Roy.
It does not look that way, that's for sure.
Arnaud with the ball, looking for an outlet. As they work it up, here's Patrick Colella. The pressure point there on the floor, they've got to watch for that. Walters puts it up off the glass. He is certainly a key to Central Commerce's offense.
Certainly, and you know what? When Central Commerce gets the ball reversed from one side to the other side of the floor, they seem to be getting easy layups or good shot opportunities. So I think that's going to be a key for them against that trap.
Matthew Wright, he'll run the offense. Again, Central Commerce going to a man defense half court. McLeod goes up high on the key. Driving to the bucket with Steve Manhalovich, but a foul's been called on the play.
As advertised, a real close battle early on in the first quarter. Both teams feeling each other out. You see a real contrast of styles with Martin Grove employing that 1-3-1 half-court trap. Central Commerce more traditional in their man-to-man defense.
And you look at Sean Gray on the sidelines there, and 6 feet 7 inches tall. There's a lot of respect for a guy who's been a 3-time high school all-star from Martin Grove.
Of course, I mean he's one of the more infamous or famous alumni from Martin Grove, and they've got to respect somebody like that.
They've had some famous alumni from that school, and it's a long history of basketball. And it all started with Dave West and Steve McNeil back in the late 70s.
Right, and I've got to give a shout out to my boy Avery Brown, who's also a Martin Grove athlete. He was a coach with me on a provincial team. Great guy.
Let me tell you, if you don't know basketball unless you know Avery Brown.
That's correct.
We see a foul called on the play. That's going to go against Matthew Wright. That'll be his first personal.
Central Commerce doing a lot of work on the offensive glass now as well.
This is Manny Condor at the line for Central Commerce. Trains the first of two. And the Central Commerce Riders have quite a history as well, and that with the head coach Bill French at the time. And Huntley Doyley, who played many, many years ago for the Central Commerce Riders, and they've always had a guard or somebody of substance coming out of that program, the latest being Paulo Santana, now a star with the University of Acadia-Axman.
Paulo Santana, one of the better guards to come out of this city in a number of years, was very, very dangerous off the dribble. Spent a year in a junior college in the States, and now great to see him back playing in the CIS and the AUS conference, and really leading Acadia into becoming one of the best teams in the country right now. So Paulo having a huge impact on basketball in this country.
Yeah, what do they rank right now, number 3?
I think they're 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah. Brian Heaney, the head coach?
No, actually the head coach is Les Berry, who's also from originally an out east guy, but they also have another Toronto connection, a kid named Sean Berry, who played at Central Tech, also having a large impact at Acadia University.
That's right. I know Brian went down there someplace.
Brian is now the athletic director. That's correct.
Yeah. Didn't know if he took on a role as a basketball coach or not. There's the replay right there.
Yeah, dribbling into a little bit of a crowd. You like to see better spacing on behalf of Martin Grove so that they've got some kick-out opportunities as well.
It'll be Martin Grove taking the ball, and they've aligned themselves for this inbound play.
Yeah, Central Commerce going 2-3 zone on the end out.
Here's Wright from the top of the key.
The old picket fence play.
Kind of like that one.
3-point shot from Matthew Wright. Good execution on that baseline out of bounds.
13-12 for Central Commerce Riders. 2 minutes left here in the first quarter of play. Outside. Manny Condor.
Good spacing, deep three.
That was a Kalala with an air ball. Darnell Walters underneath the bucket. He still got the ball. And he runs into a crowd of players, and a foul is called on the play.
Charging call. Good defense, number 15. Great help side. You see him step in here and take the contact.
That was Colin McLeod, who solidified his position defensively.
Yeah. Another strong-looking athlete for Martin Grove. Looks like he'd be a pretty good football player as well.
I'm sure there's quite a resurrection going on with their football program at Martin Grove. The school has really undergone quite a resurrection in sports.
Great to see. Credit to their coaches.
Here's Dane Clark. And we're going to see a foul again called on the play. And this is one thing, Roy, that I'm sure you've stressed to your players in the past as we take a look at the replay.
Wow, that looked like he almost got both hands. Could have been a case for a jump ball.
Wow. Matthew Wright inbounding the ball. McLeod. Clark with the ball. Back outside. Here's Wright. He ran that baseline well, and he pops it for 3.
Matthew Wright having an impact with 2 threes late in this first quarter.
15-13 for the Martin Grove Bears.
Martin Grove switching up, going a little bit of an extended 2-3 zone here. Good interior passing, Central Commerce.
Arnaud looking to get a little bit of freedom underneath the bucket. He wants to maneuver.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a space eater, trying to make some space for himself under there.
Now he's replaced in the lineup by Abdi Muhammad, the starter. He comes back in with 1:14 left here in the first quarter of play. They work it around the perimeter. Kalala. Kamachu Ibrahim, 6'2" guard, grade 12 student at Central Commerce.
Martin Grove really extending that zone. If you could get an idea of where Central Commerce is catching the ball, for the most part, it's beyond the NBA three-point line.
Now, is that something that you would advise, Roy?
Well, that's great defensive strategy. I mean, the further away you keep the offensive team from the basket, the harder it is to score. So, yeah, I think it's working. I think it's a good tactic right now.
Or do you think that it just draws a whole lot of sweat?
No, I think there's some real merit to it. And if you look again, Central Commerce is having to really rely on the three-point shot to get scores right now. So the tactic is working. But you can't turn over the basketball. That's not going to help you.
Abdi Muhammad just ate Dane Clark, and he follows up with a putback off the glass. It didn't drop.
Got to convert layups. Easy scores.
Abdi Muhammad going both ends of the floor right now. You can't say enough about this kid.
Yep, he's working hard. It's a nice substitution by Coach Lachlan.
Central Commerce with the ball. The Riders from the TDSB South Division, and one of 3 teams here today from that South Division. And Muhammad puts it up.
A little bit of a buzzer beater there. Follows his own shot, knocks it down to tie it up at the end of the first.
We're tied at 15, as you said, Roy, with Central Commerce Riders and the Martin Grove Bears here in this AAA championship. Your thoughts on that first quarter of play?
You know what? It was as advertised. I think, both teams came out a little tentative, a little nervous, but as we got into a flow, I think this is going to be what we're going to see for most part all the way through in this game is a real battle. Very, very tight basketball game.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first quarter of play. Roy, if you want to walk us through it.
Yep, Gamachu and knocking down a 3, and Darnell Walters going to the basket. Little charge call there on Martin Grove. Darnell Walters showing off his athleticism. You can see this game's really been about the offensive glass and penetration, drives to the basket. So both teams being very aggressive, and then of course Matthew Wright knocking down a 3, a couple of threes down to the end of the first quarter there.
Strong highlight package being put out there, and certainly showcasing the talent of these 2 teams. And you have to be really on your mark to get to this level because there's so many good teams out there.
Certainly, and I think a lot of that comes down to coaching, and we've got 2 of the better coaches in the city of Toronto vying for an OFSA berth. They've done a great job with these teams, as you can see early in the first quarter. A lot of different looks on behalf of Martin Grove's defense, and Central Commerce playing a very unselfish style, giving it up, getting good shots. So again, I think coaching is a huge part of it.
And looking at the Central Commerce team and the players that have come from the past, they won a championship in 1952. That was their very first one. They followed up a year later, or 2 years later, in 1954. That was the first time they ever won a senior boys basketball championship. And the city all-stars of the past include guys like Peter Cugliari, Gary Callender, Sita Kalastipis, Trevor Letlow, Mark Thompson, Robert Bonnick, Alex Perpersky. Can't forget those guys.
No, certainly. Robert Bonnick, one of the names I remember from back in the day when I was playing. Very, very strong, powerful athlete. One of the better players in the city of Toronto.
Boy, after you played him coming off the floor, you black and blue.
Yeah, he was a beast, that's for sure.
Here's Central Commerce now with the ball. Manny Condor. What a rebound.
Yeah.
Strong rebound.
Central Commerce has gotten a little unlucky on the last 3 or 4 trips. Had great shot opportunities, just rimmed out. And you'd rather miss those ones early than late, so that might be a good sign for Central Commerce.
Troy McDonald into the game for the Bears right now as Sean Gray goes to the bench. That was an air ball put up by Wright.
It was very good defense by Patrick Kalala there. Playing the ball screen perfectly and contesting that shot and forcing Matthew Wright into a real tough shot.
Central Commerce foul, number 34.
Central Commerce foul on Manny Condor. That's his second personal as Kwame Obeng goes to the line for the Martin Grove Bears.
Free throws become very, very critical in big games, and I think this might be Martin Grove's first trip to the line.
Obeng smiles like he's playing in an all-star game.
Kids are having fun out there. Great to see in a big game. not letting the nerves get to them.
One thing about these city championships is that they bring out all the personalities of the basketball world, and we've got them all right here at the Benson Building today.
Certainly, and great to see this happen again at the University of Toronto. Great venue for a city championship.
Obeng connects from the line. 17-15 for the Bears here in the second quarter of play. Dana McKeel with Roy Rana bringing you all the action from the Benson Building, University of Toronto in downtown. That's exactly what Gamachu Ibrahim tried to do with a shot from downtown, but it was blocked.
Kwame Obeng, great defense there, contesting on the other end. So again, both teams having an impact defensively now and settling in.
Take a look at the replay, Roy.
Oh, I think that was a block. Got there a little bit late, tried to slide and cut off the baseline. Line out of bounds, set pieces, getting 3 3-point buckets off of that formation.
Traveling violation called against Abdi Mohammed.
Central Tom is going to have to do a better job guarding that baseline out of bounds.
Michael Achempong, one of the leaders of the Martin Grove Bears. One thing Sean Gray stresses, and this is from his days when he played at Martin Grove and his college basketball at Brandon University, is to lead out there. Do not follow.
Yeah. Well, they're doing a good job, up 5 now. Central Commerce running in transition.
Ball Paisley off the glass. Rimmed out.
Tough shot.
Wright had his hand on it last. So Central Commerce will take the ball out of bounds. This is Jamal Paisley with the ball.
Martin Grove zoning up the end out as well.
Dane Clark looking for the steal. I think he showcased the 40-inch vertical.
Yeah.
That was a nice short corner jumper by Abdi Mohammed. It keeps it close within 3 of the Martin Grove Bears.
This game really beginning to settle down now. We're starting to see a flow a little bit more tactically in the half court now. Martin Grove's trap doesn't seem to be having as much impact.
Oh, nice play as they went give and go on that play. And that was Troy McDonald who put it up off the glass from Matthew Wright. Beautiful.
Troy McDonald, nice way to space out on that drive so he could get a nice, easy opportunity for a layup. Matthew Wright making a good decision on the baseline drive as well.
Good look at Sean Gray on the sidelines, and you can't say enough about the Martin Grove Bears. We talked about great players of the past, Steve McNeil, and also Sean being a 3-time All-Star. How about Pat Jebison, or John Boney, or Jason Faulkner, Scott Blue, Mark Houghton, Otis Williams, Hugh Riley, Chris Williams, now a police officer with the OPP, as we take a look at the replay with Wright and McDonald.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, nice spacing off that baseline drive. Great to see Martin Grove back, bringing a program that was dormant in the basketball scene for a little while, and now here they are having an opportunity to possibly go and compete for an OFSA gold medal. It's great to see. We need more of that in the city of Toronto.
The Martin Grove Bears making a statement here today. They're leading by 5 with 5:34 left here in the half. Mentioned some other names like Craig Walker, George Frempong, Wayne Mulgrave, Lenny Izzard, Rowan Beckford. How about Bill Crowdis, now coaching with Sir Sanford Fleming College in Peterborough and having a great amount of success this year.
Yeah, no, Fleming's had a great year and are one of the teams to watch in the OC2A.
McDonald comes up with the rebound. Certainly impressive here in the first half.
Good help defense, Central Commerce. A little bit of a force by Matthew Wright. Driving into a crowd.
Personal foul, Martin Groves, 35. Offensive foul. Second personal, teams 4.
Martin Grove Bears electing to go to the bench.
Interesting to see Darnell Walters sitting for an extended period of time. I think Coach Laughlin's going to bring him in right now.
Mohammed has just checked into the game for the Martin Grove Bears.
Martin Grove going back to the 1-3-1.
And Mohammed is in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
With a wingspan of about 50, 60 inches.
Yeah, we'd like to see Central Commerce try to go backdoor on this 1-3-1. There it is right there. There's the opportunity. Just got to dive a little bit closer to the rim and they might have a layup there.
Can't advertise on that backdoor either.
Yeah.
As we take a look at the replay, Roy.
Yeah, if he was a little bit closer, he wouldn't need that one dribble. He could have just lunged and gone straight up for a layup.
One thing about Dane Clark reacting quickly on that defensive movement.
Martin Grove going man on this? No, they're back in their 1-3-1.
Goes back to the 1-3-1. Mohammed will take.
Using skip passes now over the zone. Good ball movement, Central Commerce.
And Colin McDonald out there as well, playing that middle position.
Got to be a little bit more aggressive and attack this zone.
Again, they move it around. I thought there was a foul on Abdi Mohammed. Rebound. That was Jamal Paisley.
Yeah. 2 offensive rebounds resulted in easy basket for Darnell Walters on the weak side.
Looking right now at Darnell Walters with 8 points in the game.
Central Commerce now in a 1-3-1. Switching it up a little bit, a hard trap.
Well, it's certainly a matchup of the coaches as they're both going 1-3-1 on their defensive sets.
Darnell Walters.
And Walters will put it up.
Central Commerce right back in it, down 1 now.
22-21.
On a
Here's Dane
6-0
Clark.
run. There you go. There's the backdoor pass against the 1-3-1.
And looked like a traveling violation. It is against Mohammed.
Slid that pivot foot.
Now, we have mentioned pregame going through the lineups that there's only 2 or 3 other players that have played in the TESB that have had the same name for both first and last names.
That's right.
Miladrag, who played with Silverthorne, and Omar, who played with Jarvis.
Right, and now we've got Abdi Malik. No, sorry. Who's the double name here? Mohammed.
That's right.
Joins a select club. Mohammed squared.
Yes, Mohammed squared. So we go outside. Patrick Kalala.
Good ball movement.
Ibrahim.
Martin Grove doing a really good job of keeping Central Commerce at a great distance from the basket. Good slash to the high post.
That was a nice cut by him as Dane Clark has got the ball and he'll run it. Burst of speed.
Good transition defense, Central Commerce, that trip down the floor.
Martin Grove Bears. Dane Clark. They continue to work the ball. They put it up off the glass. Central Commerce making a statement. Abdi Mohammed.
Now on an 8-0 run.
They've just taken the lead with 2:41 left here in the half.
1-3-1 now, confusing Martin Grove a little bit. A little bit tentative.
Here's Dane Clark. Going back door on the play.
There you go, much better that time.
That was Mohammed.
Good recognition by Martin Grove, that trip down the floor, well executed. And this being done with Matthew Wright on the bench.
Mohammed, 6 feet 6 inches tall, playing that middle position.
Good ball rotation.
On that 1-3-1.
Darnell Walters with the drive.
And that play was down low post to Abdi Mohammed. Boy, there's a lot of Mohammeds and Mohammeds in this game.
Yes, there is. And there's another Mohammed there, missing the layup.
Trying it on the reverse.
Trying to go on the weak side, and no luck there.
Jamal Paisley. You gotta like the way he plays. Lots of excitement in that repertoire.
This has been a great first half, and we've got a minute and a half left. This is crucial now. Ending the half on a good note is going to be very, very big for this game.
25-24 for the Riders. Martin Grove. Mohammed. That's a three-point attempt from the pocket. Did not drop. Ball goes out of bounds, and Central Commerce will take control.
The 1-3-1's had a big impact here for Central Commerce. And as I said earlier in the pregame, Larry Loughlin will switch up his defenses quite a bit. Wouldn't be surprised to see some other things, a triangle 2 or a box and 1 at some point in time.
You gotta love the chess match between these two coaches with Gray and Loughlin going at each other.
Yeah, it's certainly been it's been interesting to watch, and it's been a good quality basketball game.
Battle of the mental senses here.
Yeah.
Off the glass, that's Paisley.
Central Commerce getting a little bit more aggressive, attacking the zone. Nice thing is there have not been a lot of turnovers here in the first half. It's good to see. Both teams protecting the basketball. Good ball movement.
McLeod from base. Here's Clark with the ball. Looking to drive to the bucket. He puts it up off the rim, but McLeod follows up. That initially was started by Michael Achempong.
Good strong rebound.
Or Kwame Abeng, who is in there on the play.
Now Martin Grove in a man-to-man defense to end the half.
Looking to put it up on off the glass.
Darnell Walters, tough shot.
Oh, nice move. That was a nice shake and bake move by Michael Achempong.
He's got some handles.
And a crossover to boot.
Yeah. Now you wish you'd get, okay, there you go. Give it up. Good job.
Kwame Abeng. Oh, and he sees McLeod right there. Hanging down low post as they put the shot up with no seconds left on the clock to end the first half of play with the Martin Grove Bears leading the Central Commerce Riders 28-27. Your thoughts on that first half of play?
I thought it was a phenomenal first half, and now that I look at the clock, the one thing that's most impressive is the officials have not had an impact on this game. They've really let the kids play. It's been a quick first half, but again, I mean, very, very well balanced.
You're watching the TDSB AAA Basketball Championships here on Rogers Television. We're going to be back with second half action right after this.
Tight basketball game on the scoreboard and on the court as well. Teams not turning it over, executing in their offense. Great to see.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half, Roy.
Darnell Walters having a very strong impact on the game going to the basket. There you go. There's Darnell with the tip. The drive. Central Commerce on the glass a little bit as well. You can just see the aggression of these players. Matthew Wright hitting 3 big threes in the first half.
And Matthew Wright with 10 points in the game to this point.
Yeah, he's had a very big... The two stars, Darnell Walters and Matthew Wright, have had large impacts on the game for these teams.
And to my recollection, Matthew Wright is related to DJ Wright.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I believe that is the case. I could be wrong on that.
Okay. Well, Matthew's a young kid. He's still got, I think, another year or two left in high school, so he's got a chance to be very special.
DJ Wright, a former All-Star here in Toronto.
Phenomenal player. Played for me on the provincial team for 2 summers, and it's just gotten better and better every year. He's a much better player than he was. Well, he is a much better player now than he was when he was in high school. So potential great things from DJ Wright in the future.
Sweet. Take a look at the teams warming up and getting ready for second half action. Point totals to start the second half with Martin Grove Bears. And looking at those point totals, could be a bit
looks
off,
like
actually.
Michael Chempong with 7 points leading Martin Grove, and Darnell Walters with 10 points leading Central Commerce.
And that's exactly what it is with Central Commerce and Martin Grove. And you can't say enough about All-Star games that are coming up as well, Roy. We've got an All-Star game coming up the end of next month, and that being the All-Canada Classic.
Yes, Jordan Brand bringing the All-Canada Classic to Toronto this year. Wayne Dawkins, who's run the All-Canada Basketball Weekend for the past 8 years, is a key piece of that event. We'll have 2 games, a Rising Stars game, a main game with players from all over the country. It'll be an awards banquet March 28th, 29th, 30th at Ryerson University. It's going to be a phenomenal event for high school basketball and for high school kids across the country. So we're very, very excited that the event continues, grows, and improves.
Now, the Jordan Brand also has a key NBA basketball player in representation of...
Yes, Chris Paul will be part of the event on the Saturday, where there'll be a dunk-off and a 3-point shooting competition actually at St. Michael's College. So it's going to be a phenomenal event for the kids, for the fans, for high school basketball in Toronto. We're very, very excited about this year's All-Canada Classic.
Phenomenal talent, and yes, you can see it show up at Ryerson.
That's right. Friday night, still TBA as far as the Rising Stars games. Saturday's events will be at St. Michael's College, and the main game Sunday will happen at Ryerson University. And check out the Metro Phase 1 website, www.metrophase1.com, for more information on the game.
And that'll be one of many websites that we'll put out throughout the course of the broadcast. Phase1.com website. Very key website at that. A lot of people tune in on that.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot of information, that's for sure.
Second half action underway. Here's the Martin Grove Bears teeing off on things early. Great rebound as Abdi Mohammed pulls it down defensively.
Martin Grove goes back in the 1-3-1 to start the half. And a critical foul here. Is that a foul on Matthew Wright?
And
no, I think it's a line violation. Central Commerce retains the ball.
Close look at that replay, and certainly you have to credit our camera people for being able to key in on that. Good job. Central Commerce, Gamachu Ibrahim. Abdi Mohammed. Here's Mohammed, top of the key.
Offensive rebounds becoming big again early. Giving up second possessions. Darnell Walters.
He's being double teamed on the play, but Walters puts it up off the glass.
Darnell Walters looking very impressive going to the basket tonight.
And this is going to go right down to the wire. We can tell Larry Loughlin's got the jacket off.
Central Commerce going to the 2-3 zone now. Number of different zone defenses being employed in this game. Yeah, and you know it's serious when Larry's got the jacket off.
Oh, yeah. Well-coached basketball team.
Very fortunate that that skip pass was not picked off for a layup.
And we're going to get a whistle on the play.
Another line violation, Central Commerce basketball.
Riders are going to take control. 29-28 for the Riders. Second half action. Here from the Benson Building, the University of Toronto. If you're somebody in the world of basketball, you're here. This is where all the talent is. Thought that might have been a traveling violation, was able to get away with it. This is Patrick Oella. Outside, Ibrahim.
Rebound, Darnell Walters.
And Walters has pulled down a number of key offensive and defensive rebounds.
Getting it to the high post, that's a good look.
We're going to see a whistle on the play, Roy.
That's the one thing about the zone defenses. They're very susceptible to offensive rebounds, especially the 1-3-1 when you only have one guy in the back row. So we're seeing that happen here. Central Commerce getting a lot of second shot opportunities against the zone. Keeping them in it.
Central Commerce got the ball. They're going to inbound. Martin Grove goes to a man defense. Back to a 2-3. And off the glass, Central Commerce won't let that bother them. Darnell Walters padding the totals.
Darnell Walters with 14 points now. Matthew Wright right back at him.
McLeod having some frustration there with the rebounds.
Darnell Walters on the glass.
And Walter, you got to like the way Walters is putting it up.
He's putting on a show here early in the third quarter.
This is the biggest lead so far in the ball game in favor of Central Commerce, 33-28. Right. Outside. Michael Achempong. And they go back to that 1-3-1 defense, and it's really, really messed up the Martin Grove offense.
Good ball reversal. Open look for Gamachu. I think there might have been deflection on that.
Here's Clark with the ball, looking for the lead pass. And intercepted by Walters. That was a no-look pass. Here comes Muhammad on the play. Not able to drop it on the layup. Here's Clark.
The pace picks up all of a sudden.
And you notice that, Roy, how the pace has picked up.
Yeah.
It'll go through those phases where it'll pick up, then they want to slow it down, then they'll pick it back up again.
And watching these two teams, I might say the transition game is to Central Commerce's advantage, because in the open court, there may not be a better player in this game than Darnell Walters.
As we take a look at the replay, that was Abdi Muhammad. I got him down as 5'9", but he's more like 6'6".
Yes. Yeah, he's a big kid for Central Commerce, certainly. They've got a nice tandem there. They can bring in the Shima Arnaud kid, who's more of the big body, and then go back to Abdi Malik, who's a little bit long and lean and a little bit more athletic. Nice combination at the 5 spot for Central Commerce.
Michael Achempong.
Good defense.
Ibrahim on Achempong. That's a turnaround. Kwame Obeng. Here's Wright with the ball.
Central Commerce switching it up, going back to a man defense now.
Obeng. You gotta like the way that they played that with Muhammad in there.
Nice little penetration. That middle penetration opens up a lot of passing lanes.
It's intercepted on the play. There's no run back violation.
Darnell Walters with the pull-up.
And Walters able to shoot off the dribble. That was all Twine.
Showing a little bit of everything right now.
Dane Clark.
18 points now early in the third quarter.
Looked like Wright stepped out of bounds on the play. 35-30 for the Riders. 4 minutes left here in the third quarter of play.
Central Commerce making a substitution. Jamal Paisley out. And number 15, Glenton Gibson back in the game.
And Michael Achempong with 7 points for the Martin Grove Bears. Here come the Riders again.
Nice basket by Gamachu Ibrahim. But Darnell Walters with that penetration and kick out.
Here's Wright. Did not drop.
This might be a good time for a timeout if there's another score by Central Commerce here for Martin Grove.
They're moving at a really good pace, Roy.
Yeah.
Here's Clark looking to penetrate. And he kicked it out of bounds.
Might
They're
be
moving
time.
a little too quick.
Be a good time to talk it over, but Coach Gray's going to let them work it out on the floor.
But both coaches haven't sat down at all throughout this game.
Dangerous pass.
And he'll take control of the ball. He'll run the offensive set. Nice screen by Abdi Mohammed.
Martin Grove switching that ball screen.
Here's Mohammed shooting from the top of the key, but Clark comes down with the defensive rebound. Here's Clark. 3 minutes left in the third quarter of play, Roy.
These are big possessions now for Martin Grove.
Gonna play it inside. That was a no-look pass by Mohammed. I'm not sure that's the pass that they wanted.
Yeah, it was a nice idea, pick and roll, except they had another player in the same area and really clogged up that lane. Spacing was very poor on that ball screen.
$37-30 for the Central Commerce Riders. 2:49 left here in the third quarter of play. Darnell Walters.
Again, Central Commerce going man-to-man.
Top of the key, this is Arno.
Well, just wasn't sure of himself when he took that jump shot.
Pushing the ball, Michael Achempong. Clark.
Is that a 2 or a 3? 2-point shot.
It looked like a 2, Roy. 37-33 for the Central Commerce Riders. Looking to jam it.
Darnell Walters, strong take to the basket.
You gotta love the way Darnell Walters has stepped it up here in this game.
Yeah, he certainly looks like he wants to win and get to Asa. Matthew Wright on the pull-up. Nice looking shot.
Wow. Matthew Wright, no slouch at all when it comes to playing at the high level. Kalala.
Again, Martin Grove switching that ball screen. Should create some mismatches off the dribble for Central Commerce.
They're working around the perimeter.
Patrick Kalala with the floater.
And Wright almost had the rebound, but they're going to call a foul on the play. It appears it's going to go against Shimon Arno.
Personal foul, Commerce, 55, Tino Arno. His first personal.
That'll be his first personal. Team second here in this half.
Great to see Patrick Kalala having a huge impact on this Central Commerce team. He's a student of mine at Eastern Commerce for a couple of years and has transferred over and got an opportunity to play. And it's nice to see. Nice to see him having a lot of success here at Central Commerce.
Now, he was one of 3 players that transferred from Eastern. Am I correct, Roy?
Correct, yes. And it's been great for all 3 kids. I mean, they've got a chance to play. They've had a lot of success. They got a great coach in Larry Laughlin. So it's been a good move for them.
The others being Devin Coward and
Jamie Herring.
And Jamie Herring as well.
Yeah. And you know what? Here they are. They have an opportunity to try and win a Toronto championship.
Well, they haven't missed a beat going from Eastern Commerce to Central Commerce.
Well, they still got the Commerce in it, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and an opportunity to play. 39-35 for the Riders. Kalala. Talk about defense.
Pressure.
And they finally called timeout because that ball was going back and forth for quite a while in what is probably one of the quickest high school basketball games we've seen this year.
Yeah, and you know what? Martin Grove tightening it up. It was a 7 or a 9-point game at one point in time and down to 4. So next minute of the third quarter is going to be a big one.
Matthew Wright with 10 points, Roy. And looking at
Darnell Walters with 20 for Central Commerce.
20 for Central Commerce. So you got to like the way that these 2 guys have picked it up.
Certainly.
Playing in this game. They know how to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, and and great to see Darnell Walters actually scoring 20 points and not taking a lot of shots. He's shooting a high percentage right now as well, as is Matthew Wright. So both of them getting it done very efficiently. Nice to see.
Back into the game for Martin Grove is number 13, Troy McDonald. Getting some more floor time here. Almost came off with the steal. This is Ibrahim. Looking to drive, kicks it outside. Darnell Walters, and you gotta like the way he's able to drive and float. In some ways, Vince Carter and him emulate each other.
He's got some great touch, eh? A lot of little floaters, 5 feet from the rim. Just rimming in. He's got great touch.
A running jumper.
Yeah, very skilled.
Achempa didn't hit it. Gonna get the rebound. He'll put it up himself. Second opportunity, and it goes out of bounds.
Central Commerce kind of looking the other way in transition before they rebound the basketball. They're going to have to make sure they send 5 guys to the glass. Only had 2 or 3 on that possession.
Here's the second and third opportunities.
Two Central Commerce players on the defensive glass. That's not going to be good enough to get it done.
Wow. Wright drives to the bucket. Didn't make it happen. Strong rebound by Ibrahim. Here's Kalala with the ball.
Good help defense by Kalala. Change that shot.
So Martin Grove goes to a man defense.
Switch the ball screen again.
Walters. Kalala. That's a long three.
Contested.
Wow. I'm not sure if they call a foul on that or not.
No, I don't think they did. And again, I think, Central Commerce has a great opportunity. If they keep running that pick and roll and Martin Grove keeps switching it, I'd be attacking the switch because most of the time it's a 4 or 5 coming out and guarding their point guard. So that advantage goes to Central Commerce, and they haven't been exploiting it so far.
I'm sure they're going to look to exploit it as we enter into the fourth quarter of play because these two coaches just have so much in the arsenal. They know exactly how to respond.
Yeah, certainly. I'd like to see Martin Grove enter it on the inside a little bit as well, just to try and loosen up that Central Commerce defense.
41-35 in favor of the Central Commerce Riders over the Martin Grove Bears. You're watching AAA basketball action here at the Benson Building, University of Toronto, and here's a highlight package, Roy.
It's the Darnell Walters show. He seems to really be scoring a lot from that left side of the floor going to the basket. Pull-ups and layups. Matthew Wright missing a 3 there. There's Matthew Wright. Got great shooting from him. Darnell Walters strong to the hoop. That was a tough shot.
And Roy, looking at Darnell Walters, pardon me, is that the coaches and the scouts that are here in the building today, looking at the athleticism of this guy and saying, we can build on that.
Definitely. I mean, I'd like to see him play a little bit more just to kind of see what his potential is at the next level, but certainly he's talented. And on the other side, Martin Grove defensively, I'd like to see them try to keep him on the right side of the floor because most of his scores seem to come from the left side of the floor. Seems to like that spot. It's his comfort zone.
Walters, this is a 3. He hits it.
There you go. Showing great range as well. So doing a good job. Not only just attacking the basket.
22 points for Darnell Walters. Here's Wright.
Central Commerce open up a 9. Big shot, Matthew Wright.
Right between the eyes.
Yeah. Big time players making big time shots.
44-38 for the Central Commerce Riders.
Little dribble handoff.
Here's Walters. Looking to penetrate. He'll shoot off the dribble. McLeod comes down with the rebound. That was a long outlet pass. We're going to see a foul called on the play.
You know what? Maybe not a bad foul because if he doesn't foul him, it's probably a layup on the other end. So maybe not a bad foul there by Gamachu Ibrahim.
Gamachu Ibrahim with his second personal foul.
You can feel the intensity start to rise here in the fourth quarter with the city championship on the line.
The only other electricity I ever feel is when I'm entering New York City. So this is the same kind of feel, that electricity and the excitement in the air.
University of Toronto getting it done on a Thursday afternoon.
Here's Wright with the ball. McLeod sets the screen.
Ball screen, they switch it, and there you go. They switch it, and Matthew Wright takes advantage of it and gets 2 free throws at the free throw line.
I like the way McLeod has been able to set himself up. He doesn't have the ball a lot, but what he does without the ball.
Well, as much as we talk about the stars of both teams, we all have to understand that it's going to take a lot of the other athletes, the role players, to really win ball games. And I'm sure somebody's going to come up big off of both teams. Kwame Obeng from Martin Grove has been a big factor getting into the paint and giving it up for layups. Patrick Kalala's been solid at the point guard spot. And then the two bigs for Central Commerce as well have had a great impact on the game. So it's not just about Darnell Walters and Matthew Wright.
They're going to call timeout and talk it over with 6:47 left in the ball game. Central Commerce leading by 6.
Central Commerce has been here before a number of times, so you know what? They're not going to fold, that's for sure, and it's going to take a great effort by Martin Grove now to pull this one out with 6:47 left in the fourth quarter.
Matthew Wright with 12 points, Roy. Darnell Walters with 24.
Yeah, well, Darnell Walters has really been pretty special. Matthew Wright's been hitting big shots. And let's see if Coach Gray can devise some schemes to stop Darnell Walters for the rest of this game, because that might be their key.
Now, will these players get a look as far as selection to the All-Canada Classic?
Definitely. I mean, you know, they're making a case for themselves right now. And I'll certainly report back to the selection committee that here's a couple of kids that need to be considered. Matthew Wright is still young, so he's going to have a couple of years to have an opportunity to play in the game. I'm not sure if Darnell Walters has another year of high school, but he's certainly making himself a candidate tonight.
Wright's only in grade 11. He hits on that free throw. Here's Central Commerce with the ball. Kalala. That's been a great matchup against Dane Clark.
Yeah, Dane Clark's a great defender, and again, they switched the handoff now, and it's been fairly effective.
Here's Ibrahim looking to drive. He dishes off. Here's Dane Clark with the ball.
And Martin Grove gone away from that zone defense scheme now, going man and having some success with it.
One thing about Central Commerce defensively, they get back into position very fast.
Yeah. Transition defense been very good. They have not given up a lot of layups today in transition.
Here's Wright with the ball, looking to drive.
Good rebound. Great rebound there by Jamal Paisley, going over two guys. He's probably about 3-4 inches shorter than both of them. Here you go. On the weak side, Jamal Paisley fighting for that basketball.
The Riders will inbound the ball. 44-39 for the team in yellow. Nice crossover. Darnell Walters looking to drive, puts it up off the glass. And a Chimpong comes down with the ball. Strong defensive rebound. Chalk went up for a Chimpong. Here's Clark with the ball. Wright outside from the pocket. And we're going to see a foul called on the play, Roy.
Big rebound, Kwame Obeng. Again, just very quietly having a very big game for Martin Grove. Only 2 points, but doing every other little piece that's important in a basketball game. I think Central Commerce is now going to guard this in a man-to-man defense. They're setting up that picket fence they ran early in the first quarter for a three for Matthew Wright. Let's see if it's the same baseline out of bounds play that Martin Grove will run.
Now, you don't see this too often.
No, and you know what? My last memory of this is in Indiana. We played in a high school game, and with no time left on the clock, they ran this and actually got a layup out of it. So I'm not a big fan of the picket fence.
I wish I could have seen that. Wow. On the jumper, a Chimpong.
Tough shot.
Still able to hit it.
Yeah.
Despite the adversity. Here's Manny Condor.
New point guard in the game. This should be interesting.
Condor, a 5'7", grade 12 player. Arnaud outside. This is Kalala. Darnell Walters goes wide side.
3-point game, one possession game. This is a big, big possession.
That was a backdoor play intended for Walters, but Martin Grove able to read that one, and they recover defensively. Here's Clark with the ball. Working back court with Michael Chimpong. He'll shoot, and we're going to see a foul called on the play. That was intentional.
Michael Chimpong now starting to settle in and have an impact as well, with scoring on the last possession and now getting to the free throw line.
Like we were saying, we're seeing all kinds of personalities walking through the building. We see Mike Cates, the head coach of University of Toronto, in a big game coming up against Ottawa.
Yeah.
Rick Delina, the assistant coach, the lead assistant coach.
Yep, those two have become an institution in Canadian basketball, and what a great story here at U of T, turning around and becoming one of the top teams in the country, and great fan support now in this building.
Oh yeah,
something special happening here at the University of Toronto.
A Chempong at the line for the Bears. It's all Twine. 4:48 left in the ball game.
Free throws becoming big now down the stretch.
It's a 2-point difference. And you can feel the electricity, Roy.
You can see the intensity of Martin Grove's defense picking up now. Darnell Walters, good kick out, good decision.
Walters in the air, and there's a foul called on the play.
Very unselfish play from Darnell Walters after scoring 24 points. He could have tried to take that one up himself, but gave it up and got a great result.
And how high did Glenton Gibson have to go? Here he is at the line for the Riders. And he hits the first of two.
The fans are really getting into it, Dana. It's great to see. Great atmosphere here at the University of Toronto in a city championship game.
6'1" grade 12 player, plays a swing position. Glenton Gibson, one of the more popular players on the Rider team. Darnell Walters comes up with a rebound.
Just jumped right over him.
He is definitely a nominee for the Rogers Television Player of the Game.
And a foul. That was a big foul. Kind of bailed him out. That would have been a layup down the other end of the floor.
Just looking at the coaches on the sideline, Sean Gray has taken the seat. Larry Loughlin still up. He has not sat down throughout the course of the game.
Sean, more the introspective person right now. And Larry up on his feet trying to get into it and keep his team going.
These teams are below their averages offensively and defensively. Central Commerce averages 66 points offensively while allowing 52 defensively.
Walters.
Here's Walters.
Oh, great strip there. Great strip by Abdi Malik Mohammed to keep another possession for Central Commerce. Darnell Walters again. Yeah, I'd be keeping the ball in his hands. He's doing good things. Big
There's
shot.
A jumper. That's Abdi Mohammed.
He kept it alive on the strip and was rewarded with a great free throw line jumper on a pass from Darnell Walters.
5-point difference. Here's Wright. That's a baseline pass. That's a nice
Matthew
move to
Wright
McLeod.
right back down the floor. Penetration. Nice dump down for a layup. So once again, Wright and Walters having great impacts on this game.
Double team on the ball. Mohammed. Top of the key. Throws it outside. Here's Ibrahim.
Do they go to Darnell Walters again, or do they run something else here?
Glenton Gibson has come out of nowhere here in the second half. Here he is now with the ball.
It's kind of a spread ISO. And it gets to the free throw line. Exploiting the mismatch. Good decision by Larry Loughlin and the Central Commerce Riders.
Really impressed with the way both teams have played here in this basketball game.
These are, two very traditionally very strong programs, and they're battling it out for a trip to Austin. It's an intense atmosphere with 3:21 left in the ball game.
Glenton Gibson at the line for the Central Commerce Riders. Hits it. The fans.
Central Commerce seems like they brought out a lot of support.
Substitution. Checking back in is Troy McDonald. He'll replace Colin McLeod. Gibson from the line. 3:21 left in the ball game.
Very comfortable knocking down two very big free throws.
Right, we mentioned offensive and defensive point totals for Central Commerce. Here they are for Martin Grove, 65-45 offensively and defensively. That's in league play only.
Yeah, well, you know what? In the playoffs, things tighten up, teams tighten up, defenses. I think that's what we're seeing. And you know what? It's great to see as much of the kind of tactics employed earlier in the game with the 1-3-1 and the 2-3 zones and extending it. Really what it's come down to is both teams going at each other with strong man-to-man defenses and having to execute. And it's great to see because that's what basketball is about at the highest level. You've got to be able to stop people in your man-to-man defense.
Colella with the foul. Here's Wright at the line for the Martin Grove Bears. Hits the first of two.
He's got great shot form for a young kid.
Really impressed with Darnell Walters.
Yeah, he's been special today, that's for sure. That's a big miss for Martin Grove.
Strong player, 5 feet 11 inches tall.
Kalala. Big handoff. Oh, that was a big miss.
A Chempong comes up with a defensive rebound. What a gem that was.
Good transition defense. Central Commerce getting back.
A Chempong scrambles for it. He's on the floor. Here's Wright.
Timeout. Good timeout.
And Martin Grove calls timeout. That came from the bench.
Real good timeout by Coach Gray. The team was getting a little scramble there. You can see they're just kind of rolling all over the floor. Got a little sloppy, so settle them down. It'll be interesting to see what kind of set piece they come up with out of the timeout. And you can see Coach Gray drawing something up on the board right now. So this is, again, these possessions become very critical down the stretch in the ballgame.
Let's listen in on the timeout. The stands are filled to capacity here at the Benson Building in the University of Toronto. 2:38 left in this AAA championship. 49-45 for the Central Commerce Riders. What are they going to do next?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what they run here coming on the sideline out of bounds and how Central Commerce decides to guard it.
We should know in a moment who our Rogers
screen.
Television player of the game is going to be. Here's Wright with the ball.
Not a bad set piece. Oh, tough shot.
He thread the needle, but not able to hit the rim.
Yeah, tough shot. Great flare screen set out of that sideline, but aren't able to execute out of it. Big shot here.
Mohammed, he hits it.
Big shot, Abdi Malik Mohammed for Central Commerce. Now a 6-point game.
51-45. A Chempong with the jumper, and he drains it.
There you go, big shot. Big shot for a Chempong to keep it tight.
Martin Grove calls another timeout. 4-point difference, 2:07 left in the ball game. Here's a look at the replay, Roy.
There you go, penetration kick, Kalala with the assist. And Abdi Malik Mohammed, he's been money all day from that free throw line extended, and again, great jump shot, high percentage shot.
Wow. Sean Gray talking things over with the Bears. They've had a very, very exciting season. 22-8 overall coming into this matchup.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they come out of this timeout with some type of trapping scheme, try and force a turnover. They don't really have to. There's lots of time left in the ball game, and I'm sure Central Commerce is probably drawing up some type of pressure release. But it'll be interesting to see what happens here out of the timeout on this end line.
If Martin Grove is going to have any success, it's going to run through one of three players, either Matthew Wright, Michael Chempong, or Dane Clark. Wright averages 26 points per game.
Yep, and Chempong's been big in this fourth quarter. He's made a couple of key baskets, some free throws. So I'd look to him. He seems to have the hot hand right now. And let's not forget about Kwame Obeng. Although he's only got a couple of points, he's been very, very big on the offensive glass, making some good passes. So hey, let's see what happens. It's going to be exciting.
Out on the floor for Martin Grove.
Martin
Troy
Grove
McDonald.
into some type of a zone.
Matthew Wright
picking up in the half court. Man-to-man. Oh, there you go. There's a trap. There's the trapping scheme we talked about.
And the pressure on the ball.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Sean Gray looking to get control of the ball.
Almost got it.
Appeals to the officials.
That was a great scheme. Great scheme. You couldn't really tell what it was. Was it man? Was it zone? And then they doubled the ball and almost got a turnover.
Central Commerce calls timeout. So certainly this chess match continues between these two coaches.
Yeah, under 2 minutes. Really, it's about execution, and coaches want to make sure that their athletes are prepared mentally to make good decisions. So again, unfortunate for Martin Grove. That was a great scheme coming out of the timeout by Coach Gray. Let's see what Coach Laughlin's got up his sleeve now on the sideline out of bounds.
Larry Laughlin in the timeout. Very animated, Larry Laughlin.
Yeah, very underrated coach. He's had great success since he's been at Central Commerce. Very, very underrated.
And great support from the staff and the principal at Central Commerce. They've always been supportive of the basketball team.
Definitely, definitely. They take a lot of pride in their basketball team at Central Commerce. And, it's another reason why they've been so successful.
There's the inbound, Roy. Kalala with the ball.
They get it into Darnell Walters' hands. That's a good place to have it.
Mohammed
trying to double the ball as much as they can. Oh.
And the ball goes out of bounds. I think it's going to go Martin Grove's way.
There you go.
The Bears take control of the ball with 1:46 left in the ball game.
Central Commerce getting a little bit tight with the double teaming and the pressure of Martin Grove.
We saw the replay. That went off of Muhammad's hands.
Get the ball in Matthew Wright's hands here.
Matthew Wright.
Sprinting ball screen.
There's the screen. Wright kicks it outside.
Oh, great unselfish basketball. Tough miss on the layup.
Central Commerce comes up with it. They push it. Ibrahim.
Well, got to be careful here. Foul.
And a foul on the play, and it's going to go again.
It's not a bad foul. Still a possession game now. They put him in the bonus.
That foul is going to go against Dane Clark. That'll be his third personal, the team's sixth. Inbounding the ball, Jamal Paisley. Here's Paisley. Looking for Darnell Walters. He throws it away. Looking for the easy layup.
Kwame Obeng with the layup.
And you had mentioned Kwame Obeng and how valuable he is. There he is right there.
Yep, a little bit of pressure creating a turnover. He got out and jumped into the passing lane, and Central Commerce turns it over.
That was a huge mistake because now it's only a 2-point game with 1:20 left in the ball game.
And, you know, I mean, we talked about making sound mental decisions down the stretch, and hopefully that one doesn't cost them. And, yeah, they just got their messages mixed up on that inbound, and easy layup for Kwame Obeng.
The pass intended for Darnell Walters. And certainly Darnell Walters considered our player of the game should the Central Commerce team win. Yeah. Otherwise, Matthew Wright will be our player of the game should Martin Grove win. So we've got it down to the two nominees.
Well, yeah, and you know what? For the last, I'd say, 2-3 minutes of the fourth quarter, Darnell Walters has not scored. So Martin Grove's defense done a good job taking him out of it late, and that might be one of the keys. If they can get back in it here. It'll be interesting to see what type of scheme they employ. Do they go full court, half court? Do they trap here, Martin Grove? A little risky, but Coach Gray's shown to be a little bit of a gambler, so let's see what happens.
Good look at Matthew Wright, the grade 11 student.
Okay, here you go, 2-1-2.
And leader.
2-1-2, three-quarter court trap.
Good defensive scheme by Martin Grove. They kick it outside. That's a three-point shot.
Big shot, Gamachu Ibrahim. Darnell Walters with the drive and kick. A 5-point game with 1 minute left. Matthew Wright.
Right as the ball gets stuck on the rim.
Martin Grove ball on the possession arrow.
And the Bears will take control with 1:01 left in the ball game. Roy, you can't ask for more excitement.
It's been a great basketball game. It's been a great basketball game. These kids have played at a high level all game long.
Kwame Obeng trying to untangle himself from Ibrahim. The drive. And the kick. It was
that's a tough turnover.
Picked off.
Darnell Walters.
Darnell Walters. And he slams it. Darnell Walters hammers it home.
That might be it. That might be the statement that sends Central Commerce to offset.
56-49 with 40 seconds left on the clock. And we have to take a look at that lead pass and the jam by Darnell Walters.
Yeah, great defense on that penetration to cause a turnover. And here you go. I thought that might have been a foul. But he goes up and elevates and throws it down. Icing on the cake for Darnell Walters. He's done everything else tonight. Hit threes, mid-range jumpers, got to the rim, and finally ends it with a dunk.
No, I think we should put a Superman cape on him.
Yeah, he's a special athlete, that's for sure.
Wow. With that 45-inch vertical, he practically threw it in the rim.
Yeah, he was still going up when that one went down.
Into the cylinder. 56-49 for the Central Commerce Riders.
It's still not over. 3-possession game with 40 seconds left. But it's going to be interesting to see whether they go for a quick 2 or a 3 here, and then they need a foul, a call, a timeout to stop the clock, and then it becomes a free throw shooting game. So let's see what happens here off the sideline out of bounds. The last time they flare screened out of it for Matthew Wright, and they got a little bit of a deflection, Central Commerce. Let's see if they can get that again.
Here's the inbound play.
Handoff, dribble handoff. Now they switch it.
Right. And Obeng out there. Dane Clark. They look for the corner.
Big shot.
That was an air ball thrown up by Troy McDonald.
There you go. Now it becomes elementary. If Central Commerce can make their free throws, this game's done.
56-49, 30 seconds left on the game clock. And they're going to walk back into the Martin Grove zone. Patrick Kalala will be at the line. Excitement personified. I haven't seen this much excitement since Paulo Santana was in the building full of riders several years ago.
Central Commerce experience in this situations may have been a big factor, as Coach Laughlin's been here a number of times before, and some of their players have been here before. So you can't discount that. Martin Grove's still a young team, and I expect to be hearing a lot from them in the future. And they still have a chance, by the way. I think there's a backdoor game for the AAA winners to still get to OFSA. So although Central Commerce, if they win this game, will get the automatic berth to the Ontarios, Martin Grove will still have a chance. They'll play on Friday, I would imagine, against Laurier to see who goes. So they still have a very good chance.
There's that backdoor game that they've always had traditionally over the past several years.
Yeah.
With the team advancing to the AAA championship.
So, and you know what? If Martin Grove gets in, they've got a great shot to medal at OFSA as well. I mean, they're a very, very good team.
Again, that the camera in the timeout. And just to And just to comment as well, that AAA championship begins March 3rd through March 5th at Paris District High School in Paris, Ontario. And if you want more on that schedule, go to www.ofsa.on.ca. Here's Kalala at the line for the Riders. He hits the first of two. That's pretty much the dagger that went in the heart of the Martin Grove Bears. He hits the second one. The fans are rejoicing with 25 seconds left. 7-point difference.
Now you don't want to foul and stop the clock.
Off the glass, that's a Chimpong. Kalala. Long pass, Walters. Muhammad gonna set up Walters. And he gets it with a tap off the glass. And he steals the ball. He's gonna go up for a second one.
Yeah, now you got to kill it,
Missed on the dunk, and that's the end of the ball game. 60-51, the Central Commerce Riders win the Toronto District High School Basketball Championship.
And they rushed the floor. The fans rushed the floor.
AAA division, Roy.
Great to see. Congratulations to Central Commerce on being the AAA Toronto champions of 2008. Phenomenal achievement for this team. And also congratulations to the Martin Grove Bears. What a great season they've had. And they still have a second chance to get to OFSA tomorrow against Wilfrid Laurier, from what I understand. So
we've named Darnell Walters as our player of the game here on Rogers Television. We're going to be back with the post-game synopsis.
You coming to bed?
I'm just gonna catch
Back to the Benson building for the post-game synopsis, as we've got Darnell Walters, the Rogers Television MVP here, holding the championship trophy. And your thoughts going throughout that course of the game and even before the game. How did you wind up doing all this? Because you put out a phenomenal performance.
We have to get focused early today, you know. We see number 35 was a good shooter, so we seen how he played the other day, so we had to just guard him and come on, play hard.
So Darnell, tell me about this. It's been a tough year for you. You know, earlier on this year you weren't playing, came back, had a big impact on this game and on the run here to the city championship. What's the season meant for you personally and for this team at Central Commerce?
It's been good, man. I set up for a while, and I was scared that we weren't going to go anywhere until I came back, and then now we're going to OFSA.
Congratulations. Great show, Darnell.
And Roy, your final synopsis as well on a performance by Central Commerce that we'll remember for quite a while.
Well, you know what? Again, I mean, I thought they made big shots when they had to, and Of course, when you get 29 points out of Darnell Walters, that really helps. But even more than his scoring, I thought you made some great decisions passing the ball. The three-point shot from Gamachu Ibrahim down the stretch probably was the icing on the cake, and that was on a good decision to give it up and pass it off. So, again, great job, Darnell, and great job, Central Commerce.
The Central Commerce Riders come out on top, winning the AAA basketball championship. They're going to look at the highlight package that we've got, and that's coming up as we get ready for that highlight package. And Roy, you'll take it away right there as we see the final package that we put together here on Rogers.
There you go, going strong to the basket. Martin Grove kept in it on the offensive glass. And just a scrappy performance. There you go. Big shot. Matthew Wright shot the ball well, kept him in it. Great hustle there by Jerome Paisley. And there you go, Darnell Walters attacking the basket. Hustle plays. Penetration, kick, big shots, being unselfish. Coach Lachlan again did a great job, did a phenomenal job with his team down the stretch. Survived that turnover as well. That one could have been costly.
And here we are with that jam down at the end. Wow.
Showing some serious athleticism.
Well, that wraps up everything for this basketball game with the AAA Basketball Championships. Roy, and for hard-working production crew, Darnell Walters, Roy Wren, I'm Dana McKeel saying so long from the Benson Building here at the University of Toronto. Central Commerce coming out on top, 60-51.